Alrighty, folks, welcome back to our first matchup of the ESL ESEA coverage of Pro League Season 2 this evening. It's going to start off with FOLLOWeSPORTS versus Team Coast, and the map is going to be Inferno. Why don't we talk about it a little bit, Moses?
Actually, I mean, they recently had a head-to-head matchup, I believe, in CEVO on this very map. I think it was actually the end of last month, and it was a 2-16 victory in the favor of Team Coast, which is pretty big. But both of these teams have been up and down in their wins and losses. So I mean, it's kind of just like these are both teams who have kind of on that middle ground. I mean, FOLLOWeSPORTS, relatively new. I think they've had another roster change, or at least they said they benched Ape, and it's actually Desi playing for him tonight. So, I mean, they're struggling a little bit. Their wins are big. They beat VVV 16-3. They lost to Method 4-16. This was an RGM like yesterday. So they win big and they lose big. It's just a matter of if they're going to be on during that match.
Right. And again, like you said, I mean, the last time that these two teams faced off, it was a huge victory for Team Coast. We'll see whether or not they can lay it down here, or if FOLLOWeSPORTS have kind of adapted their mentality, and decided to try to overcome on this map this evening. And it's really going to come down to who's going to be able to start on that coveted CT side and who's going to take that big early lead, because like you saw earlier this afternoon when Cloud9 played on Inferno, they had a huge terrorist side Inferno half. Well, on a map that they're notoriously not that great on.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, you look at FOLLOWeSPORTS, their CT win rate on this map is 7%. They've won 1 of 15 rounds in their CT side. That includes 0 of 3 pistols. And that basically just tells me their terrorist win rate is 24%. So they've started T side pretty much every single time, and they just don't get a lot of rounds to play CT in each of these matches because they just get beat up so bad. They don't have a lot of success. They're 0 for 6 on pistol rounds on this map. So, I mean, this is not a friendly map to them at the moment, and that makes sense for a team that's new, with new players, new rosters coming in. This is a hard map if you're not well practiced.
Well, we'll have to see how it pans out here in a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of Go TV lag. I don't know about yourself over there. A little bit here and there, but
just a tiny bit.
A tiny bit, but we do have 10 in the server. We should be getting into the knife round here in a little bit. But again, we've got an action-packed evening for you guys this evening. Team Coast has a doubleheader as well as 3-sup. So we'll actually see, what is it, Team Coast versus 3-sup later on this evening, I believe it is, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's going to be good. And then also 3-sup taking on Luminosity, which is going to be a pretty solid matchup there. As 3-sup, they've been doing relatively well. I got the chance to meet them at the Winout LAN. A lot of really cool guys on their team. Got to sit down and chat with them a little bit. Davey, really, really down-to-earth, cool guy. And he's been playing and performing extremely well for 3-sup.
Yeah, he does. He's in a bit of like I know he's kind of their lurking role, so that'll be interesting to see how they do. And they're the team that like last season started out 0-6. They were known as like this team who was getting some big upsets in other leagues, and then they all of a sudden exploded in the Pro League, and they went on like 6 straight wins, had like the outside shot of making it into the playoffs at the end of the season. They didn't make it, obviously, but starting out slow, they got some time together under their belt, and then they just started blowing up. So that'll be interesting to see how they do this season. They had a whole off season together. They've had some events like you talked about. They've had more experience in leagues, so I fully expect them to continue to get better and better.
As do I. And again, getting that LAN experience under their belt as well, and hopefully seeing them attend more local LANs in the future as well. I don't know if they have plans to make it to the Fragadelphia LAN, but I'm sure that they've probably got arrangements in their plans for getting out to some of these other events and getting more experience and playing together. And I really look forward to seeing what they have for us as they move forward up the ranks in the Pro League.
Yeah, that'll be pretty sweet. I'm really interested to see how Desi's going to do here on this team. This is also, you got to think, this is Hades, and he's well versed in his rise to invite multiple times, and then subsequently getting kicked or cut from rosters and teams, and then he goes to the next squad and gets him up to invite. So I'm pretty interested to see how this team is going to do under his leadership, not only right now, but as the season goes on, because he's shown the ability to make some pretty competitive squads, but this is probably the least talented lineup he's done it with. And in terms of, maybe not least talented, but in terms of experience of the individual players, it's probably the least impressive if you just go down the list of names. So we're going to have to see how he molds these guys together.
Absolutely. So again, we're just waiting for him to live up here. we do have enough players in the server to get this one underway, but maybe experiencing, little AFK issue going on over there in terrorist spawn or something like that. I know that seems like they're all moving around. Stanislaw is kind of, there he goes. Now he's moving. So that could have been what it was. Drake actually disconnecting from the server. So just patiently waiting to see somebody get this one underway, and then we'll be rocketing on through. But again, we're going to be seeing Luminosity again tonight. And we didn't really touch on them that much. Another team that came out to the win-out land ended up placing second to CLG in a best-of-5 grand finals that only needed 2 maps in order to close out. So a little bit lackluster from them at that land tournament. Fur wasn't the Fur god that we know, but maybe he's getting back and getting a little bit more comfortable playing back on the line again.
Yeah, well, that was one of the more impressive sequences we've seen out of CLG recently, which is but like ever since then they have been playing pretty poorly, at least online. So and then their group plays tomorrow for the qualifier for Cluj. So that'll be something to keep your eye on tomorrow during the day. If you guys are free and don't have work or don't have school, make sure you're watching that, supporting the North American teams. And I mean this is the scary thing. Like, this is my team that is just going to break my heart. I can feel it.
Yeah, you did tweet something out earlier about that. We've got 4 teams with opportunities to make it to that Cluj major, and you just have that pit, that feeling down in the pit of your stomach that one of them is going to be the disappointment. Is it going to be, is it going to be the Winter Fox? Isn't that their new sponsorship, Winter Fox?
Yeah,
is it going to be
the old Mythic?
Yeah, well, is it going to be Winter Fox or Liquid?
If they don't make it, it's not going to break my heart, because I don't know if I exactly expect them to. That would be really cool if they did. But like CLG, they should fully get out of that group in first or second place. They should have no problems advancing in first or second. Well, maybe not no problems, actually, because Copenhagen Wolves is in their group and they played really well at London last weekend. So they'll have some issues, but I just, with the way they've been playing recently, the way they played some top teams at the previous major, I mean, they took Navi to 16-13 or 16-14. I mean, they've got to get to that point now where they're winning some of these close matches, and they got to get to this point where we can consider them to be a lock to move on. So I just get this scary sense. Whenever I hype them up, they just break my heart. So I don't even want to do it at this point.
But again, it's kind of like you said, the last couple of times that they've, at least the most recent time that they've been seen on lane, they looked very good. And hopefully it carries over. Sometimes you see teams kind of get to that point sometimes where everything's going right for them on land, but then when they get back and play online, they can't get it going again because they're used to playing on land again. So it'll be very interesting to see how they adapt and if they can continue to lay it down on land. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'll be watching the score bot.
Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got planned for the day tomorrow. I might, make some tacos or something. Watch some Counter-Strike. Make an afternoon out of it. Perhaps some margaritas in the afternoon. Have a little day drink. That could be fun times.
The jealousy coursing through my veins right now is astonishing.
Yeah, that esports lifestyle, man.
So it looks like we're actually going to go through a server change real fast, guys, and then they should be joining back up once we get the new information. So we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a little bit with the first matchup, the Coast versus FOLLOWeSPORTS on Inferno.
We don't need to take a break. I think
okay.
They said there's only like 2 to 3 minutes. We're getting word. They had an issue, so they're all rejoining pretty quickly.
Yep, rip.
No worries, but yeah, I mean, that's going to be a cool thing to watch is DreamHack Stockholm, obviously the major qualifier. That's pretty sweet. And then Liquid, I'm pumped to see. I think do they play on Thursday or Friday? I don't remember. That'll be a fun group to watch. And I'm hoping that Liquid lives up to the hype that we've seen them perform online, just because this team has looked really, really good, but we haven't seen them at a LAN yet, obviously. So that's going to be really interesting to see because that's the thing. This team has looked good in the past online, and they've always struggled when it's came to LAN. And a lot of that, I think, was personnel being used improperly. And I think Hiko has started to solve a lot of those problems. And they've been peaking at the right moment with this qualifier coming up, because they started out a little bit slow. I think they lost their first 3 or 4 matches together, and then they started really, really winning them. They won that one, was it an RGN tournament over a weekend just a couple weeks ago. So, I mean, they're looking pretty solid.
Yeah, it's just a matter of seeing if they can put all of it together when they actually get to the LAN. So I'm really looking forward. The whole week is kind of already laid out, man. It's really going to be an exciting week of Counter-Strike. And
I love it. I love this week-long tournament. It's like, it's so cool that you wake up and you can just watch Counter-Strike all day. It's like the best.
I don't know that feeling. I have a real job.
I think I got a Chromecast. I ordered a Chromecast off Amazon that I got in the mail. I haven't set it up yet, but I think tomorrow I may do that and then just throw it on like the big screen. Thinking that's what I might do.
All right. Well, we do have 10 in the server once again, so we should be getting this live into the knife round very, very shortly for you guys, hopefully in the next couple of minutes, and we'll be able to kick the night off, right?
Yeah, that's what the word on the street is.
All right, so switching over to the end game, there are beautiful observer Prius. We love you, buddy. And again, we should be getting this one live very shortly for you guys.
Yeah, there's 10 in. Did you get the new ID?
Yeah, I'm already in.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't notice it because I was chatting. Just wanted to double check.
Well, you got it now. You know, we good. We Gucci.
Don't ever do that. Stop.
What? What?
The Gucci.
Man,
the Gucci thing.
You never let me have any fun, Moses.
There's no fun in Counter-Strike. It's all business.
All right. So I'm ready to rock and roll tonight. I hope you are as well. As well as everybody else that's in the chat also. I do see the chat going across. A lot of people taking care of business in here. Chatting it up. It's good to see. I always love an active chat whenever we cast.
Yeah, it is nice. And we also just got word that the match went live, so as soon as the GoTV catches up, this one will get started into the knife round. And obviously, I mean, this is the interesting thing, because FOLLOWeSPORTS, I mentioned, they have that 7% win rate on their CT side, so it's like if they win this knife round, you want to take the CT side because it's skewed that way on this map, but if you're that unsuccessful on it, like, it's really a tough choice. So I'm going to take Coast in this one, obviously just based off the previous head-to-head, but really, I mean, we did talk about the up and downs of both of these teams, so this could go either way. It's all going to depend on, as silly and as simple as it sounds, as who's hitting their shots, who's on fire, because I'm not expecting anything crazy in terms of strategy or teamwork out of these teams at the moment.
Yeah, and this could just turn into just an upright, downright brawl, just like it is in mid right now. And there you go. Team Coast actually going to take that knife round, so FOLLOWeSPORTS continue their struggles on the knife round, so not going to get to pick the side that they want, so they're going to be starting on the terrorist side. So we are live, guys. Finally getting this one underway. Team Coast on the CT side. That's Draw, Soul, Invert, Stanislaw, Dumore, and, of course, Drake. And they're going to be facing off against the FOLLOWeSPORTS squad in Hades, Wabbit, Ocean, Els, and Desi.
I think this coach for Coast is actually... I think he's from Germany. I think he was like my MTW, I believe. I think that's one of the producers said in our chat, which is pretty crazy to think about. I didn't even realize, or my KVP. Sorry, not what I said, but yeah, that's which is pretty interesting. I didn't realize that Coast was going to go grab in a broad coach. That'll be interesting to see how that all works out.
Alrighty, well, that brief little pause is done, so we are going to get right into the pistol round, and you can already see they've got the raid boss buy going on over here for Hades, Tech 9 and Armor in hand. And we'll see where the terrorists decide to take their way this first opening round. 4 CTs over towards A, so really interesting. Looks like they're going to go for an aggressive strat here on the CT side of pushing down mid. I like it already.
Yeah, this is really risky, though. Dumore's leading the way, and actually no one spotted it. Wabbit gets executed from behind. There's Desi evening things up, though. 4 on 4. But this is great control from the counter-terrorist down mid. Dumore with a couple more nice shots. That's beautifully done.
Yeah, but that's going to leave Els in a 1v2 now. Draw, Soul, and Stanislaw, the last 2 alive. Stan going to drop that smoke grenade at the top side of Banana and work his way all the way back around to the A bomb site. But that's kind of a, well, at first it looked like Els was going to make his way up Banana, but spotting out that smoke, he decides to take his time a little while longer. And now grouped up are the CTs. Seeing they're pushing towards mid a little bit, and they're actually going to push down mid. So they're going like aggression, then counter-aggression, then aggression again this round. I kind of like it. Team Coast coming out swinging early in this one. And Elza is going to have to go into that B bomb site completely unawares that he's going to get flanked out almost immediately upon getting in there. He hasn't even gotten in. He's going to run back towards him. And they actually, well, Drossel gooshes Stanislaw, but they do manage to get it done anyway. Team Coast going to pick up the first round, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's just crazy aggressive down mid. But then also, yeah, you're exactly right. The cool thing about that is in a 2-on-1, they just stick together. And they know he's either going to commit to B and plant the bomb, or he's just going to take his time coming up banana. So they had plenty of time to flank behind him. So that was a really well-played 2v1 by Coast.
They spend no time getting onto those P90s and FAMASs here. Invert's going to stick with that 5-7 because he is the team's AWP player. And again, they're going to go a little bit aggressive here behind the smoke. They're going to be able to spot one out. And Els is actually going to lay a little bit of damage out. Drossel gets a nice fadeaway headshot onto Wabbit there down Banana from the backside of car. But Drossel down to 6 HP. So the damage has been done. And they're going to be forced to play a little bit more of a passive setup here in the B-bomb site.
Yeah, and look how much utility there is. Ocean has a full kit, also has a smoke. Desi has a nade, but they're split 2 and 2 right now. And it looks like Desi and Elsa might just try and wrap. This could just be a smoke off towards wrap. But Hades is actually going to peek towards the lane. He's going to get dinked immediately. He continues to go in for the kill, and he gets mowed down. But still, the bomb over at the B bomb site, that's eventually where they want to go. And Desi with a nice deagle gets traded off, but he's opened things up just a little bit.
That Molotov being deployed into the backside by New Box, but they're going to barrel on in here, and it's going to be an easy cleanup for Drake and Drossel at that B bomb site. 2-0 for Coast, and only one man drops. Drossel survives 6 HP. That Juan Dig coming out from Desi up there in mid, able to dispatch of Invert, but he's going to be able to get dropped to Tech 9 and continue to be, well, what's he got? He's only got $550 here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really weird anti-eco if you're gonna fully buy out of FOLLOWeSPORTS, to be honest with you. They split up so much. I mean, I know Desi wanted to go, that deagle, you sent him to go get some one digs perfect, but actually look at this nade into all mid. That does a ton of damage.
Oh, God.
Stan just executing it with a nade.
That was ridiculous. He might have been, well, he had to have tapped him once, but that was like a 90 damage nade. They're just going to push on up mid. Stanislaw is going to be there with the P90. You've still got Invert there with that Tech 9 raining shots out onto their parade in middle, and another nade goes out towards bench side. Not going to find the damage he was looking for, but Wabbit down to 66. It's a 3-on-5, and nothing in the tank here from the terrorist side. They've got no utility to work with, and they're just going to try to push on up in mid, and there it is, the crossfire in middle. Stanislaw going to go for the triple, actually the quad, and that will be Team Coast off and rolling here as they execute their anti-eco rounds basically flawlessly.
Yeah, and how many upgrades are we going to see? Because Invert, like you said, he was pretty much broke, which is really curious from last round, but I'm assuming they're going to drop him over a P90 because they're keeping one on Stanislaw. No upgrade out of the FAMAS from Drake and Drossel. So I'm assuming Invert just picks up that P90, and he does. So they have a big bank built up, and if they can keep these alive, if they can win this round with this type of a buy and get some free AKs, they're just going to keep ballooning. So this is actually a really, really cool option if they can make it work.
And look at this aggression on the banana hallway already. 3 players from the CT side are over there. The double pit play in the A bomb site from, I believe that's Dumore, and that's actually Invert with him over there as well. So they're going to come under fire here very, very soon. Dumore's got to be almost flawlessly here. And he's going to be able to find 1, finds 2, finds 3, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Dumore goes huge this round. Just annihilates that push, and Stanislaw cleans up Hades. Dumore from the pit.
That's insane. I mean, that's a position, and no one from FOLLOWeSPORTS is able to flush him out. I mean, he just mows him down. So many players, there's not even a smoke there. So it's just really, really interesting. Their strategy is just to run 4 players out the hall, so they just get mowed down. That was way too simple for Dumore.
Yeah, I mean, they walked out. They didn't even try to throw a smoke, didn't even try to throw a flash. They just walked out through the halls and just one by one. Great job from Dumore, though. And Stanislaw already pushing down mid. They're going to be able to catch one, but no. Drake there with the nade, and Stanislaw 1, 2, 3, and another quad for him. So it's back-to-back quad rounds. Actually, 3 quad rounds in a row. Stanislaw getting 2, and Dumore getting 1 as well.
I mean, this is just a slaughter at the moment. Still keeping these P90s. They haven't even had to upgrade, or they haven't even had a chance to upgrade them quite yet, because Dumore just mowed them all down on top, but this is just, this is dirty. But now, I mean, you look at this buy out of FOLLOWeSPORTS. They have the AKs. They've got 5 smokes. They've got 5 Molotovs. They've got to get going with something. There's only been 4 kills in the 5 rounds, and really no opportunity for them to do too much. So this round, they really have to switch things up and at least do some damage.
Yeah, they got to at least get those P90s, those pesky P90s out of their hands. But look at this. Stanislaw is 11-0 right now. $13,700. He didn't even use any. He's not even buying any utility. He didn't buy anything this round. He doesn't even have a single nade to his name. Just feeling very confident right now. He's going to be playing in Cubby at the top side of mid with the support from Invert over there on the arch side as well. So very difficult situation for FOLLOWeSPORTS to be in right now. And we'll see whether or not this little bit of a fake over towards the B-bomb site is going to work. They do drop a flash over, but they're going to pop flash up mid and take this one. And they're going to have a couple of players over here on the arch side. Let's see if they decide to push the smoke, and they do. Desi's already through. He's going to be able to find one, but there it is. Stanislaw, 1-2. Can he get more? He's still got more bullets, but he finally goes down to the hands of Elsa. And we're finally on a 3v3. Something more manageable here for the FOLLOWeSPORTS side. Dumor and Pitt going to be able to take one, but he's going to get tapped away by Hades.
Yeah, but Drossel comes from behind to pick off Wabbit, and, you know, Dumor didn't even really need to peek for that second one, and Pitt just needed to survive. Either way, Hades, 1-on-2. It's going to be a very difficult situation. He is going to get the bomb down, but he's stuck in the back of the bomb site. There's really not very many places for him to go outside of this corner. He's got to pick a spot and get aggressive after it, because Coast, I mean, they're teamed up, and they're going to come up this lane all together in this 2-on-1.
Very risky play. He's playing right next to this smoke. He's going to peek out. Doesn't see anything over there on Moto's side. He's going to pop some shots. Almost lines him up. He's able to take down Drake, but Drossel there for the trade. 6-0 for Team Coast. Huge start.
Yeah, a great start. And this is, I mean, still the money is so high. They did get 4 kills on FOLLOWeSPORTS. They're starting to do a little bit of damage, but I mean, with the money that's built up, Stanislaw 16K. I mean, he's already maxed out 6 rounds in. That's nuts. He's at 13-1. Huge match for him.
Yeah, not only that, every single player on their team was 11-5 plus at the start of that round. They bought down, and they've still got Stanislaw with over $10,000. $12,950 for Drossel because he didn't have to buy. Ridiculous money right now, and they're going to have to win. I mean, FOLLOWeSPORTS, they got to win 3 rounds in a row just to break the bank. And that's a good start. Ocean going to spam the smoke and find Stanislaw, the top fragger from the Coast side.
Yeah, and that's something they're going to need. When Ocean gets into one of those moods, when he gets into pug mode, I mean, he can be a pretty dangerous player. And at this kind of a scoreline, that might be exactly what happens.
Well, they're making their way up towards Truck's side. They've only got one player over there to beat. That's going to be Drossel, who's playing up behind the smoking balcony, and they don't actually come out through halls yet. He's going to be able to find one. He drops the bomb carrier. Drake is going to be there as well to support. Desi, though, going to be able to find that trade and finally takes him down. Now they've got to contend with Invert over here by Moto, joined by his teammate, but they've also got a fast flank coming in the form of Drake, who's worked his way up into the halls. So this Molotov might find a little bit of damage here into the back of the site. That's Ocean trying to hold that down. He's not going to burn. Dumor's going to find another headshot. And Drake still on the prowl from behind. They have no idea, I think, that he's even up here. He's going to smoke himself out and try to go for this push. Dumor with another one. Finally, Wabbit answers back, but it's going to be too little too late. He gets legged and then traded. And Drake takes him down. Another round on the board here for Team Coast. 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's another really solid retake out of Coast. Follow, I mean, at least this time they're getting into the bomb site. They're getting these plants down, so with the losing bonus on top of that, they can keep buying. But you're exactly right. With the money that's built up, it's going to have to be multiple round wins, and at the moment, it's just not looking likely. Some of these plays that Coast is making on the retakes, they're very coordinated with their teamwork, so it's just beating up.
And it's like you said, I mean, Team Coast already beat up on FOLLOWeSPORTS 16-2 on this very map in Sivo. And again, they're off and rolling in this matchup. 7-0 is your scoreline as we move forward into the 8th. And again, the 3-man stack here on Banana to start the round off. Ocean trying to spam through, but he's not finding any connection with that AK-47 just yet.
Yep, and now Drossel's going to rotate back. So this time from FOLLOWeSPORTS, it's very, very much more slowed down. Haven't really made any progress. They're spending some time clearing out these halls, but there's not a whole lot going on. Yeah, Hades eats that nade. That's really, really unfortunate.
That was a team nade.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
His teammate naded into the apartments from
alt-mid
and just destroyed him.
Yeah, they're just having all sorts of issues right now.
Yeah, I'm glad that we caught that on camera, too, for you guys that weren't really aware of that. I'm not sure who that was that threw that grenade, but that just rocked him. It might have been Els. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But here you go. Here's a good exchange over on the arch side. That's going to be a couple of frags going the way of FOLLOWeSPORTS. And Again, Dumore's going to be able to spot one. That's going to be Hades. He's been so strong from the pit, but it's a split towards B, and it's only Invert with an AWP to try to hold this down. He's going to find one. He's going to go for the peek. Barely misses that second shot, but he already knows that there's at least 2 players coming over in his direction. He's going to go for the repeat. Not going to be able to hit the shot. Going to be able to find the second one. Can he get a third? No. Desi finally there to clean him up, but it's already down to a 2v2 again, and Ocean is only on 16 HP, so they got to get in here and get this bomb planted. They've only got 13 seconds on the clock, and they've already got 2 CTs pushed up in front of it. And there you go, Desi going for the quad. He gets it. 12 HP remains, but Follow Esports is finally on the board.
Yeah, huge play from Desi there to bail him out. He's at 9 and 7. He's leading the way for his team, but a really, really costly win. They're going to have to rebuy. It came down to just one player, just Desi surviving. So you look at this purchase coming out. Wabbit's already on a Galil. Ocean's going to buy a Tech 9 just so he can get the utility. And even Hades is going to be on a Galil as well. So this would be a bad moment for them to get reset. They're on the verge of kind of breaking the economy of Team Coast. And if they get reset here, this half is just going to run completely away from them.
And again, you're going to see some early damage go out, I was going to say. But Invert just completely wipes Wabbit off the map. And now Hades getting aggressive here in Apartments, but he doesn't realize that he's got both Stanislaw and Dumore right around the corner. He's going to get mollied out, Dumore, but he drops the smoke intelligently. They know that there's going to be one in bedroom, but they don't know that Stanislaw is right here trying to get this frag, and there it is. Hades going to play the bait and switch. He's going to be able to find that kill, and Desi is already up truck side, pushing into this A bomb site. They know that they've got one pinched here in Halls, but there's the peek, and Dumore is going to take the fight. It takes down Hades as well. Now it's going to be a 4-on-3 in favor of the Coast.
Yeah, but they're completely confined into this bomb site. There's nowhere for them to go. Drostel's even watching for this push through the smoke. Desi's right on the verge of it. Neither of them have spotted each other, but there's nowhere for the terrorists to go in this post plant.
There you go, pop flash around the corner. Desi's going to push through the smoke, but he falls back. He's going to get shot in the back, and they don't realize that there was already a player up truck side. Drawsol's actually going to lay a little bit of friendly fire, but it's going to be Dumore to find another one. Last one in the back of the site, and Drawsol, nice reaction shot from him as Invert gets the defuse, and there's the money reset that you were talking about. Even with that bomb plan, it's not going to do anything for their economy.
Yeah, here's the thing: when they're stuck in the bomb site, and if they just hide in their corners, they're just going to lose. I mean, that's just the way it is. So Desi's trying to be aggressive, but couldn't find the kill. But because the rest of his teammates are being so passive in the corners, he had no support. He had no one covering anything because they were just hiding inside the bomb site. So Desi gets killed from behind, and then it just collapses from there. And that's a situation where, as difficult as it is to coordinate, and that's kind of a situation, you just need to pick somewhere and get aggressive together. You have to get out of that bomb site if you want a chance at winning that round.
Yeah, they had no pit position to watch for the truck side or from the apartment side either, and that's exactly where they ended up losing the round from.
Yeah, and here's that situation now where their economy is completely reset, so they're back on the pistols, 8-1. And now the bank for Coast is just building right back up again, and if they can stabilize and not lose many players, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So Follow Esports, this is they have one more chance to really salvage this half, or else it's just going to be a massive disaster.
And they're really, like you said, only going to get one more good crack at it, and it's going to be Drake here at the top side of Banana to try to hold this one down. He's going to drop the smoke out. Wabbit's right around the corner, doesn't get spotted, and Wabbit actually falls back behind the smoke, so they make no extra progress up towards that B bomb site. They do have 4 players over here, soon to be 5, as Hades is going to join up over there. And the spam through, Drake finds one, Wabbit down and out, and the early blood going the way of the CT side once again this round, and Els leading the charge. The Molotov comes out, that delays them even longer. Great use of the utility here on the CT side. You can tell those 2 smokes held them back for so long. That Molotov makes them completely change direction. They've already rotated 1 extra player in. That's going to leave Dumore and Stanislaw over here at this A bomb site, and they have been stalwarts so far this half. And there it is. I think Dumore actually just spotted when he's going to drop the Molotov out. Going to deny them the plant. They're going to run on into the site. Els is going to be able to find one. Stanislaw takes down his teammate, but it's Dumore playing tricky around this smoke. He's going to find a second one. Can he get the third? Can he get the triple onto Hades, who is in the pit behind the van? He's not going to find him just yet, but he does have an M4 in hand, but there it is. Invert going to play the bait game and takes him down. Another round on the board for Team Coast. And Follow Esports, again, this is pretty much their final shot at it in this buy round here.
Yeah, if they lose this one, I mean, that's the thing. They faked it out a little bit. They pulled a third player over towards the B bomb site from Team Coast, so they had a little bit of an opportunity today, but that double pit setup is just so incredibly strong, so it gets mowed down, not even a plant. And, I mean, this is a buy coming out where they only have 3 smokes. They don't even really have a lot to do the executes that they've been trying to do, so they're going to have to get a pick. They're going to have to win some initial fights, but Invert has this AWP, and that could be the game changer.
And he's just watching for Hades to peek out from alt mid, and here comes the peek.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Boy. Dead. And that's so unfortunate.
It's not
but
even
you got to know.
Yeah, I mean, a pop flash, something to force them back a little bit. But either way, Hades gets punished, so another round where the initial kill goes towards Team Coast. That's a smoke down that they can't even use, and this aggression coming up mid gets pushed back completely. They don't have the confidence to move up and take brackets. They have no map control. They have hulls, but that's not doing much because Coast is playing passive. Now all they have left to do is go back towards B. They have one smoke, but Drake's about to get a pop flash from a teammate.
And there you go. He does take the peek, takes the fight with Els, and they smoke off Banana. So now they're going to have to either push a smoke or wait it out again. And Invert in mid's going to find Desi playing all by his lonesome over there on the arch side. They've still got 3 players over in this A bomb site. Still just a standard setup here on the CT side. And this was actually the first round that I saw him actually go for that boost on porch side on the CT side. So they're keeping things fresh, keeping things mixed up. And here you go. Another smoke at B. Drawsell's got a Molotov. And this is just not gonna end well for the CT side, or for the Terror side. There you go. Here's the push in. And there you go. Drake cleans it up. 10-1 is your scoreline. Follow Esports just getting destroyed at every avenue of this map, and they're back on the save.
Yeah, I mean, they need to be a little bit more aggressive early on. They need to take some control. You know, they need to flash back these peaks. They know Invert has that off. He's been aggressive down mid in the past, so they need to flash him back, make sure they don't lose Hades like that so early on. But especially when you have a buy round where you don't have a lot of utility, it's so hard to play that pick game at times because you don't have the smokes to isolate a player to go for a pick. You don't have the nades or the Molotovs to flush people out of position. So sometimes it's better to just trade. And there's Invert with one more kill down mid and even more aggression, and they just mow him down in alt mid. Hades does get one. That's going to be just about all he can get as Dumore cleans it up, and Dumore's having himself a match, 18-4.
Yeah, he's caught up and surpassed Stanislaw. I think Stanislaw has only really gotten 3 kills in the last, like, 7 or 8 rounds. He was, what, 13-1 to start it up, and he's gone 3-5 since then. But where he's fallen, Dumore has picked it up. I mean, 18-4 for him. You got 9-4 on Invert, 8-3 on Drake. I mean, 8-2 on Drossel. They're not getting the kills on the Terror side. It's not even the fact that they can't get into a bomb site. It's just that they're not even getting any of the kills. Top fraggers, Desi, 9-11. You got Wabbit at 1-12. Ocean and Els at 2-3, and 4 for Hades. You can't win rounds like that.
Well, I mean, this money situation just got so out of control so quickly. I mean, we mentioned one player at 16K like 5 or 6 rounds into the match. So at that point, it's just you're asking far too much out of your team to win that many in a row, and you're struggling to even get the bomb planted at that point. Especially on Inferno. I mean, look at this. We have a minute left in the round, and there's still, what, 4 smokes and 4 Molotovs left in the kit? I mean, you're not putting enough pressure down early on to make them use these things. So when your executions do come in, you're running through fire, you're running through smoke, and all the advantages towards Team Coast.
I did like that Molotov that they threw up on top of Porch to try to sniff out a player that was up there, but unfortunately nobody's going to be playing in that area this round. And they still, you know, they have bracket control, but there you go. Nice shot from Invert's actually going to find the wallbang on a Desi, takes him down to 27. They've got a little bit of control up towards mid. But there's another smoke that goes down. Desi goes down at B, but the push is coming towards A. They go through the smoke, and oh, they're both blinded. There you go. Finally, Wabbit goes down to Drake, but Ocean's there for the trade. But Dumore, again, he's been so good from the pit the entire time. He's tapping away, finding even more damage onto these players. He's going to have Els peeking out. I think he spotted his head. Yes, he did, but Stanislaw is going to go ahead and remove that for him, and it's going to be Ocean, the last man standing. Stanislaw going to find another one. He's trying to catch up to his brother Dumore, but Dumore's still up by 1 kill. And that A bomb site, even though they got the plant that round, it's just on lockdown.
Yeah, the only way that strat works is, I mean, they sent Desi over towards B. He just had to get a kill. That was everything they were relying on, is to get a kill, force a couple of rotates, and unfortunately Desi loses it. Invert had a good angle, get the leg shot, and had an easy cleanup from there. But I mean, this is what we were talking about. I mean, we even mentioned that this is Follow Esports, you know, with their CT side win percentages, because they get beat up so bad on their T side. In 3 matches, they've played 15 rounds of CT, and they've only won 1 of those rounds. And it's just because they get beat up so bad.
Oh, if Drake throws this nade, I think it's a little far. Yeah, unfortunately, he got a little too aggressive and jumped when he threw that one. If he would have just lobbed it a little bit more gracefully down into Banana, he would have gotten a lot of damage out onto the terrorist side of Follow Esports, but this round, again, another slow strategy working their way towards the B-bomb site, and it's almost like pug strats that we're seeing come out from Follow Esports, there's really no rhyme or reason to a lot of the things that I've seen them doing so far. I mean, granted, yeah, Hades has gone for a little bit of aggressive play one way or another, but here you go, already peeking out, trying to push through the smoke. The mollies come into the bomb site, the flashbangs as well. Draw Soul's going to get aggressive, but burning alive is going to be Ocean. Nice placement on that incendiary grenade, and it's down to a 3v5. They've got no progress into this bomb site. They're finally making their way in, and Invert's going to be there as well as Drake to shut down this push again. Nothing is going right.
Well, they throw out their execute, and then just immediately 2 Molotovs come out behind the smoke. So running through, even if they do happen to get the kill, they're losing all their HP going through fire. So, I mean, that's just what it is. They just run into the blender and get smashed, and now it's Hades. They line up for him, but he can't get the second one. Drawsoul cleans him up.
1 HP.
13-1 now. Yeah, I mean that's just the sign. Nothing going right.
Exactly. So, one last crack at it here for the Follow Esports side if they want any chance of playing CT here. I mean, this is a desperate situation, and again, it's basically a replay of what happened to them previously in SCII on the same map against the same team. 13-1 is your scoreline. Team Coast just completely annihilating them on their CT side.
Yeah, and there's nothing really left for him to do, so they managed to buy it. There's a good pick. Stanislav peeks the window, gets aggressive, but still look at all the damage he did. He throws that same nade and peeks with it. 3 members critically damaged. But they're hitting this A-bomb site very, very quick. Dumour's got a lot of work to do. He's been doing it all half so far. Gets close up to the halls. He looks away at the wrong moment, but he still gets the headshot. He sprays a second one down, but he's going to get cleaned up. It is a 2-on-3. Fast flanks coming up mid.
Yeah, they've already made their way up to brackets on the CT side. They've actually got one all the way around on Arch side, too. And one very aggressive here on the backside of the mid. There's a nice shot from Els, and we could see a second round on the board here, but Drake going to be able to find the opening pick into that A-bomb site for this retakes possibility, but there it is. Wabbit, he's going to find the triple that round, and Follow Esports at least get a second round.
Yeah, so the smallest amount of breathing room that you can possibly have. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really tough comeback, even on the CT side, obviously at 2-13, so that's a really, really bad first half that's going to be hard to come back from. But as I say that, I do recall earlier today, I was watching mostly the qualifier matches for Cluj, but it was crazy in the European Pro League matches. It was like Fnatic beat NiP in the first half, like 14-1, and then NiP brought it back, and they ended up losing 16-14 going into the last round. But I mean, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. They have one more round than NIP had to make this comeback.
Was it on the same map?
No, it was on Dust 2.
Still, that's crazy. And there you go, the opening aggression. Wabbit's going to be able to find one, spamming away. He's not going to be able to find a second, but Els is there to trade. He's going to be able to find that second kill. And still, there it is. Finally, Stanislav's going to be able to open things up for the terrorist side, but still trying to peek out as Wabbit finding a little bit more damage. Stanislav's going to go down. Desi as well going to chime in on a draw soul, and that leaves Drake all by his lonesome up here in the apartment hallways. He's going to get pushed on here. Desi around the corner. But Wabbit's there with the headshot, finds him, and Follow Esports, they pick up another round, and it's going to be the pistol round on the CT side. Now the anti-eco.
Yeah, I mean, that round's won by Wabbit. I don't know how he survived that long and with that much HP. I mean, he was so close to the fight. I mean, for whatever reason, Coast, their Glocks were just shooting blanks. They couldn't connect with him.
Nerf darts.
Yeah, so he barely takes any damage whatsoever and gets 3 kills in the round. That's big from him. So that's the opportunity, and now you're going to see Coast. They've bought up. They have a Molotov and a smoke, and they're going to go for a B hit. Oh, and they dink Desi right off the bat. He falls. Second one, there's Ocean going down, but there's a third member here. Elsa's just playing it quietly, going to try and hide. Sprays one down, but can't get any more than that. So this is a great round of the Coast.
Yeah, and this could be the nail in the coffin right here if they are able to win this. Wabbit and Hades have to be flawless on this retake. Not finding any damage through the smoke. Oh, Draw Soul takes him down anyway, and it's going to be all on Hades in a 1v3. They've got the armor. They've got the SMGs in hand. Draw Soul through the smoke. Nice shot from him onto Wabbit. Takes him down, and now Hades is going to have to fall back and save.
That's just crushing that you have a triple push B and you don't do the damage. So I mean, Coast hits some nice shot. Desi gets dinked immediately, and he's basically out of the fight from there. But what a crushing round! As soon as they win the pistols and have a little bit of a window of opportunity. I was actually surprised with this kind of a lead that Coast even decided to buy. And actually, they're going to hunt down Hades, and they're going to find him. They do, but he wins the duel, so he does save that M4, and that M4 is going to have to be huge this round. He's able to drop a couple pistols over to his teammates, But this is just, it almost seems, I mean, he doesn't do that at all. This is just seems like how frustrated they are not communicating that he could have dropped. They could have had a couple more smokes on Desi or Wabbit, but they just snap by those pistols.
So 14-3, we're on tie point, looking to go to match point. At least FOLLOWeSPORTS did a little bit better this time than they did the last time these two teams played. And by a little, I mean they've only gotten one more round than they did the last time. But hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And this is 4 members taking control of Banana, and they just have Drossel watching for any kind of push down mid or out of the apartment. So he's just basically watching the flank. They're seeing what they can find. They're testing out the defense. They're more than likely just trying to find out where Hades is going to be with this M4 before they commit to anything. And it's actually going to be a 4-man stack over towards the B bomb site for FOLLOWeSPORTS while Hades just pushes into halls and grabs an angle. But he might actually just walk right into Drossel's crosshairs.
He peeks him, but he turns just at the wrong time. Drossel gets the kill. And a free M4 if he so desires. He hasn't dropped the UMP yet, but I don't know why he didn't pick up the M4. It doesn't really matter, but still. Man advantage going the way of the terrorist side. Coast trying to, well, coast to a victory here. That's exactly what they've done. Drake's going to open things up with the P90 headshot onto L's. And now they're pushing back up towards B, and Ocean is looking for the frag. He's going to be able to find one, but he's got a lot more terrorists to deal with as they are making that push in, and they're already rotating Desi out. The communication is not on point. Desi all the way over in CT spawn, and now Ocean's going to come under fire. He's looking for the frag, but he's not going to find it. Invert takes him down. Desi goes down, and it's all on Wabbit over here at this A-bomb site. Drossel takes him down, and now we're on map point.
I don't even think, I think it was Dumore who was planning that bomb. He didn't even, like, stop planning when he was getting shot. He was just like, ah, screw it. I'll let the teammates deal with it. He's not going to kill me. Yeah. Just kind of funny. But, yeah, 15-3 now, so this is a huge beatdown, and obviously FOLLOWeSPORTS just have to buy, but this would just take a miracle at this point.
Well, it's going to be another pistol buy down for them, Desi and Hades with the Desert Eagles. 5.7s for the remainder of them, and they're going to go full aggression down mid. Now, taking a little bit out of the book from the FOLLOWeSPORTS side, or from the Team Coast, and they're going to find one pick for a second one, but they're going to find that as well. But the trades are all over the place, and there it is. Stanislaw and Invert going to go big this round. 2-piece for each of them, and Drossel finishes it off. So 16-3 will be your final score, and that is going to be Team Coast just utterly destroying FOLLOWeSPORTS.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Just destruction. So that was a beatdown. That's a tough match to swallow if you're FOLLOWeSPORTS. So they've got a lot of things to work on, especially on that map. I mean, these results aren't that kind of a result on Inferno for FOLLOWeSPORTS isn't exactly unheard of. They did lose to the same exact team 2-16. So that one hurts, but that's a good start for Coast in their evening, and they're going to be, I don't think they're right off the bat next up. They're going to be playing 3-sup at the end of the evening, so they're going to take an hour off to get ready for that match. That one's also going to be on Inferno. We'll see them later on the night, but coming up next, we're going to go to a quick break. It's going to be 3-sup versus Luminosity. That's going to be on Cash, so we're going to have to see how that one goes when we get back from the break.